Jamie, while we're waiting for the meeting to start, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Carol Birch said she's looking for some sort of a documentation from the Lions Club concerning the farmers, the Thursday market.
Yeah, she's looking for the form from the IRS that gives us our 501c3 designation. It's called a letter of declaration. And I believe that you and I have looked for it before through all your stuff and not found it anywhere. It's definitely not in any of Ethan's stuff or any of, basically I went through it with Nancy forever ago and it wasn't in any of her things. Like we need to get a new form from the IRS. The replacement is called the letter of affirmation. And unfortunately the nonprofit office at the IRS is non-staffed during COVID. So
Okay, yeah. So you guys can't get your WIC program going.
yeah, we can't get food stamps going yet.
Yeah.
That's what we need it for.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah. Well, I just started plowing through all the file cabinet and all that stuff, and I haven't found it yet if it's there. So
I don't think it is, but thanks for going through it.
yeah, well, yeah. Okay.
So it's 3 o'clock, so we can start whenever.
All right. I would like to call this meeting to order. First thing is to approve the minutes. Can I get has everybody had a chance to read through them?
Did I get them? Yeah, I guess. I'm sure they're okay. I move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Secretary's report.
Still looking for members. So if you guys have any idea if anybody inside city limits, we have 2 positions open. I did another posting out front and at the post office. So, about it. So hopefully I'm trying to post something off Facebook, maybe here in the next couple days, try to do that on the city page, or on the City of Toledo page or whatever. So, and last time we talked about there was a downed tree in the park from the windstorm, and the Lions Club was going to be taking care of that. They're not now. So somebody else has been able to do it.
Oh, awesome.
After they said they didn't want to. So that's where that is. It's in the process of being cleaned up. I think Mike can talk more about that. He knows a little bit more about it than I do, but so that's all I have. So.
Okay. New business, RV campsites. We can talk about the tree here too, because both of those are in Kemp Olson. What do we need for the RV campsites? I know that we have $2,000 from the city, and I still need to talk to the Lions Club. I missed the meeting this week about kicking some in, and also Vision Toledo. But what do we need to have done next for the RV campsites? Do we know how to rebuild it ourselves? Do we need to get bids for someone to rebuild it? I'm not even sure how much we can do versus needing to hire out. Do we just need to get gravel on site, or do we need more stuff?
I think that the first step will be to, obviously get the sites, get them graded out with the gravel, and then bring in gravel. Mike was talking, and we were talking about like putting a fabric of some sort down, and then he said it's best to just make sure that gravel is good and they'll spray them. But we have to have some type of border to keep the gravel in so it doesn't go, fly out. So I think the purchasing some type of border and gravel is going to be the biggest thing right now.
Okay. Do we have a design for this already? Is there a standard for this?
I mean, you're just going to throw up some 4x4s and fill it with gravel on out. And you guys can put fabric down if you want, but in pricing it, it wiped out the whole line item that the city had just for the fabric alone. So, I mean, here's what happens when you put the fabric down with all the needles and all the stuff over there. When you mow, everything gets blown right back on the rock, and it still grows grass. You will still have to spray even if you do put the fabric down. Now, these paths and RV sites aren't going to be traveled on. They're going to be parked on. So as far as the stability and stuff, if you do some 1.25 inch, I mean, without doing the fabric would probably be the more reasonable way to go. Everybody has their own opinion about that. So, but that's what I would suggest to make your money go the furthest. Go in there, scrape down what's already there, get to see what's there. Because I mean, I go there, you can't even see where the gravel was. So we need to go determine where the sites are, border them, scrape them out, border them, and then put gravel in. That would be my suggestion.
Mike, is there already, there's already gravel there, right? And it's just all grown up with grass.
Supposedly there is gravel under there. What we could do is go pull that gravel out as much as we need to just to get the sites prepped.
Yeah.
And then you could actually, if the gravel's okay, you could probably use that for the road, you know, pull it down the road to get extra gravel on the road too, because the money that the city has was that we were talking about would maybe do the sites, maybe, and nothing on the road. I mean, it's just, you know, expensive. So if we could use the gravel from the old sites when we pull it out to lay down on the road, that would probably benefit too. You could, you know, repurpose it.
Yeah, it
Instead
doesn't
of just hauling
matter.
it off.
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter that it's all grown over with grass and stuff as long as it's firm. So if you define where the space is with 4x4s, then people know that's where you're supposed to park your thing, your vehicle or whatever, and it's going to be solid ground under you.
So supposedly,
Yeah.
I've never seen it when it was done before. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be gravel that visible. As long as the
It could
space
be
is
scraped
defined with
though.
4x4s, then the
Yeah.
ground's solid, then people can park on top of that. And it's, you know, I've
I
got the same
think-
thing with my driveway, and it starts growing grass, and I'm going, okay, I got to kill all it. Ah, the hell with it, just leave it. It's solid as could be. It just has grass growing in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what probably would benefit a lot is to go over and determine where they were or where they are.
Yeah.
Because I don't, you drive through there, I don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
So,
Some of
I
them
mean, I
might
see the
really
posts and
scrape.
everything and the numbers and all that stuff, but I don't know exactly where the parking pad was.
Yeah.
It's on. So,
Some of them will have to be scraped to be leveled out because they're not level.
Sure.
And that's, you know, you'll have to scrape that existing gravel out and. to
I
level
guess
it.
that's where, if we go over there and find out exactly where they're at, then we can determine which ones need the work and which ones don't.
I think the
Okay.
key is if you define the space, then you're,
Yeah,
you got it.
I can get out there before next month's meeting and find the pads. So we at least know what we're looking at with them. Do you want me to mark the corners of them with marking spray? If it gets grassy again, that's just gonna rub off. How should I stake them?
you could stake the corners or mark it with paint, however you want to do it.
Okay.
One other thing too, the 4x4s are nice, but I see it a lot of times on RV parks where they have something a little bit bigger to back up against at
Mhm.
the ends, going across the end, instead of just having a 4x4 there, something, you know, they have almost like a bumper, like a railroad tie size, something to that effect, so they don't get off into the grass when they back in.
Well, there's those pre-cast concrete bumpers that you see in parking spots.
Yeah.
I wonder how much those are. They're probably not very expensive.
I don't know.
If you know, you stick
Right.
one of those, and there's the spot. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel like we could make a mold for one of those and just make a few of them and
Yeah.
pop them in ourselves. Like, I don't know if you even buy them.
Yeah. No
but I'll
idea.
look into it.
Yeah.
Jamie, I also have like a map that kind of shows a little bit of where sites are. So.
Okay, that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll get out and mark the current sites then. And then I guess after that, if we can have Mike or somebody go out and look and see what they actually need once we know where they are, like if they need more than leveling, or if we've actually got something solid underneath there to start with, is that reasonable to see what comes next?
Yeah,
Do we have
well,
somebody that can assess it, that knows what they're looking at?
were you gonna be doing this during a weekday? Or could you?
I could, yeah.
Well, I'd be willing to meet you over there.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, you know, to do a quick walkthrough with you and kind of check them out and see.
Okay. It's not gonna happen this week because I don't want to deal with the snow that we're apparently getting.
No, it's not gonna happen this week and probably not next week either. I'm buried right now. But if
Okay.
you get a hold of me, we can maybe set up something.
Okay, yep, I can do that. Perfect.
Okay.
What's the deal with the tree that's out there then?
It's all
Somebody's
cut
come and
up.
gotten it?
It's all cut up. All the wood's moved except for the stump. Now they're now cleaning up the branches and the debris that it left. They may cut one more piece off of the stump. I cannot move the stump with the backhoe. I tried. I couldn't even roll it. Michelle right now is trying to get me a machine, an excavator, so I can walk in there and pluck it up and load it. That's the only way, other than hiring somebody to come in and do it. That's the only way we're going to do it. The other benefit to this, if we do end up getting like FEMA money or something to rent this machine, I could walk down through and scrape those pads where you guys are
Oh,
parking with the machine. If we rent it for if they'll pay for a 2-day rental, it shouldn't take me but just a few hours to walk down and do those and scrape those out.
okay, okay,
That was kind of talked about. So
okay. Do we know a rough time frame for when you would have the equipment for the tree if you're going to get it?
Michelle hasn't heard back yet, but what
Okay.
I can do is have her email you, or Jill can have her email you or somebody, and it could email you and let you know timeframes if we end up getting it.
That would be perfect, because I would like to make sure that you've got supplies to be able to do it if we've got equipment that's just convenient for it.
Yeah, the bad part about it is the city's backhoe does not have a clean sweep bucket.
Okay,
When they bought the backhoe, all they did was they got a 24-inch digging bucket. So when I'm scraping and skimming, it's not like a flat clean out.
is that really the big issue? Is that something that we could get? I don't know. I swear that the Lions Club guys have a ton of equipment that they never have enough excuses to use. That if I asked somebody that had a scraper to come out, is that what we need?
Just something to designate those and scrape them out to see what we got. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me poke around and see if I can find somebody so that way we're not beholden whether or not you get the machine.
Well, and like Mike was saying, if you even wanted to do that or not, but I would think
Right.
you would probably want to pull them down a little bit just to get kind of a base going again. So
Okay, okay. Sorry, making a note here. Okay, is there anything else about the campsites right now that we can work on or that we need to work on?
I guess we'll have to like price some timbers or some sort to, to box all the gravel in. So,
Okay,
like pressure treated, obviously.
yeah.
Um,
I want to see what's there first because I wonder if they've done that previously, if we've already,
nothing in there to block it in, to keep the gravel in.
there isn't right now.
No. It was,
Okay.
gravel was just laid. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, there's nothing in there to keep the stuff in. So we'll have to price something, Mike, you said like 4x4s.
yeah, you
right, and
could
I've
use-
got the parking bumpers as a thing to check.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything less than a 4x4. If you try to do a 2x4, something like that, you gotta stake it in and they're not stable. A 4x4, you could drill it and pound a piece of rebar in and it would kind of hold it there. they're not really gonna tear them up if they just kind of have a place, just kind of a guide. I don't really see them pulling them out, so.
Okay.
But you don't want them to walk over and kick it with their foot and, be able to move it either, so.
Right. Is 4x4 likely to be deep enough for the gravel that we need, or?
Oh, yeah, should be.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, especially if there's already a base there, like Mike said, I mean, it should
Okay.
be solid.
Just sitting on top of it, yeah, basically.
Right.
Define
Right.
it.
Now, some of them are pull-through sites, so they're not going to be, exactly. They're going to be more rounded, I guess, have a curve in them.
Okay.
There are a couple pull-through sites. So.
Well, there's a new sawmill up in Morton that cuts half-moon shaped 4x4s.
Oh,
Interesting. Oh,
I was like, yeah, okay.
Gil, I'm teasing you.
Merry Christmas, Mike. Merry Christmas.
It would be about
I couldn't help it.
60 long. Yeah.
Jill, do you have the map of the current sites just at City Hall, or should I call you ahead of time to make sure that I?
Yeah, don't we have them? I just have it here at City Hall.
Okay. Okay. All right, old business, jail improvements.
Yesterday or Monday, Brian Dennis came to the Lions Club and has asked for some financial support in doing the finishing up. Let's see. There's metal archway, water feature, irrigation, paint, and signage. Is what he's asking for, some money to make those things happen. And the Lions Club board cannot approve that anything over $500, and this is quite a bit more than that. So we'll have to put it out to the whole body and get their approval. But that's what I know. And then he's also going to get some. Hopefully, he's going to ask for money from Vision Toledo too to finish up something to do with seating.
Okay. So it sounds like we're in a holding pattern with that then until we have more funding. I saw something in the minutes about the water meter. Is that waiting too?
I don't know.
Well, I'll have to do that, but I'll do it before you have to water again.
Okay.
Yeah, right now it's kind of on the back burner, so.
Right, yeah.
But we'll
Okay.
get to it. We'll get it in.
Things don't need to be watered right now, yeah.
No. Okay, walk in the park. When I checked last night, we have sold 9 tickets. So I don't know what City Hall is taking, but oh dear.
I've got 8 that have come in here and paid.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's not hugely far off then from
I have
from
8 that
yours.
have come in and paid, and then so you have 9 total after you and Ethan, and then I know I went on and registered.
Yeah, you and me, Emily Morgan and her family, and Stanton.
Okay.
I don't remember
So
her first name.
are you able to email the ones that we don't know for sure for like t-shirt sizes?
I
from
should
that?
be able to email them for t-shirt sizes, yes.
Yeah.
I have not tried yet, but I should be able to do that.
Okay.
Which I can do and email them onto you once I hear back, hopefully sooner rather than later. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I put it out on the different sites again just Monday, I think it was.
Okay.
Facebook, and again, there's postings at the post office and here at City Hall, to come. They can sign up here or go to the link. So.
Okay. I know we've also sold some raffle tickets, although I didn't check how many those were for the things. So we'll have to email about how to do that too, because I know that we have to do like a physical drawing of it. Isn't that a part of the rules for?
Yeah, which we could if I just have the names of who, how many, I could just write them on the raffle tickets and stick them in. where there's talks about possibly, you know, because I don't know that they'll have a quilt ready for September.
Okay.
And so that we might just continue to do the raffle tickets until
Oh.
September, you know, and do raffle in September.
Okay.
Just because I don't know that they'll have another one made in time for September's walk.
Well, and I don't think the people who have signed up so far are going to be like, oh no, I needed it to be for this time. Like, I think it'll be fine. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that we need to put together for that?
No, I just, you know, getting the t-shirt sizes from you and then anything else as stuff comes in on the emails, you know, because I don't have the access to the email that you made. So when all that stuff starts coming in.
Oh, I'll send you the password again. I'm sorry. I thought I had. We got muted, I think.
There you are.
I
You're
couldn't
back.
hear him.
Okay, that was weird. Yeah, boat launch sign. What's happening with that?
Yeah,
It's,
you go ahead, Mike.
oh, I was gonna say, it's sitting up there at the, I think we discussed it last week or the last meeting. So I'm probably gonna want to meet with you. It's not gonna be just a 2x4 and a nail.
Right.
This is gonna take a little bit of a deal. So I don't know if we can pull the old structure out and try to reuse it that it was already on before, or if we're gonna have to buy new or whatever. But I assume the posts are gonna have to be 3 to 4 feet deep to hold this sign up.
Okay.
So we'll probably have to rent some kind of an auger or something to dig that. I'm very open to volunteers to help with this. I
Okay,
don't have a lot of manpower here.
I've got Warren Tilley and his son said they would help when the time comes. And
Okay.
the son, Eli, is the one who painted it originally.
Okay.
Can your backhoe, do you think it could pull those 2 posts out of the ground? That are
Yeah, I can
there
get them
by the
out.
bridge? Yeah, by the bridge. If we get those out, could maybe use them. I mean, they
That's what I
supported
was-
it before, so.
Weren't we going to use those for new directional signage for town?
Well, there's that too. I have that on my list too.
I thought they were already spoken for, but I
Oh,
wasn't sure.
okay. I didn't know if they were. I know we had talked about that, but I hadn't seen a final on that. Yeah. Okay. Well, those are
So
like 6x6s probably, or something like that. I imagine.
there are probably at least 4x6s.
Yeah. I didn't look
So,
at it.
and they're probably gonna have to be fairly tall.
Yeah. Though the sign doesn't have to be as tall as it was for cars, because we're talking about
Right.
people coming up off the river, and so it could be just a foot or 2 off the
Right,
ground.
but you don't. Right, you don't want it too close to the ground because you're gonna have to mow around it, weed eat around it, and all that stuff.
Yeah, true.
So. Yeah. So, but anyway, so here again, whenever you get a chance, maybe we should go look at it and kind of go over where you want it put too.
Yeah. Okay. Then it's
So-
a matter of getting holes in the ground and posts in and sackcrete and then. putting
Yeah.
it
Then
together.
figure out some way to hold it up and nail it down.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you going to meet with him then?
Yeah, I'll get a hold of Tilly and see what will work for him, and then what will work for you, Mike. And I don't know, sometime in maybe next week or sometime we can take a look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, let me know. Give me a call or whatever, and let me know, and we'll meet down there and kind of get a game plan together.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 sheets of plywood, and that's going to have some kind of sturdy thing to hang on, so.
Yeah, it's 8 by 12. Yeah, 8 high, 12 wide.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we only want to do it once, so.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I added a thing to the agenda because I need to talk about Steamboat Alley, speaking of old business, and yeah. When I started with all of this, I was at least under the impression, although I don't remember the details now, that we couldn't permanently cover the ground in there because of the way that the pipes run through that area. Is that still correct?
If you're looking at me, I don't know. That's the first I've heard of it. So I'm not sure how. Are you talking about plumbing, utilities wise, or?
Yeah, there's a ton of utilities stuff that runs through that alley there. And I remember being told that I could do pavers, but I couldn't do a wholesale flooring thing in there because if anything needed to be accessed, we were trying not to add any more to that. Okay, that's still what we're looking at. So what we're looking at for the groundwork in there is that it drains more water from the street side down through the alley than I was aware of when we started it. And we made some changes to it last year, or I guess the year before now, to try and keep more of the material in there. But realistically, we're just really having problems with the water running the stuff through it. It's building up at one end. Like even when we have it blocked off, it's still tending to amass at the end. So I need to figure out some way to do some more permanent flooring option that isn't going to continue to just run all of the aggregate out the other end. I need some suggestions for that. I need some help. I don't know how to make this work in a way that isn't just going to continue to run out, that still allows the access to those pipes.
I think isn't there some kind of a polymer or something that you put into sand, or it's already part of the sand, that when you get it wet, it becomes more like mortar between
I don't
brick.
know. I don't know about this. Does anybody else?
And though it's still blocks and it's not permanent, I mean, you have to bust it up, but you can lift the pavers out, I would think.
Yeah, isn't that the stuff they used to put pavers in with,
Yeah.
or?
I think so. I've never worked with it, but
Well, can, explain to me, where is the water coming from?
It really seems to be street runoff, or I mean, like runoff off the roofs on the front side. There is
Okay,
a gutter that kind of twists around, and that's helped out with part of it that we ended up installing, but we're still getting water coming through there. And it doesn't, there's no flooding immediate path. There's just kind of like the slow dissolution of it through as it goes down. And it's just all ending up in a pile at the far end of the park.
gotcha, okay. Yeah.
And I tried putting in more gravel the last time, hoping that that would help stabilize it, and it really isn't. It's still just doing this slow march towards the other side. So somebody else had brought up that we could possibly put in like a decking option for part of it and keep only pavers, and maybe then be able to give them a more solid frame that the base could be in, so that they only ran through a part of it that would be easier to access in the future. If that's something that sounds reasonable. I don't know exactly where all of the pipes in there go. I don't know what I'm not allowed to cover up and what I can and what. I've been mostly running under the idea that it just needs to be something that can be torn up relatively easily, and I've been running with that, but I can't figure out a way to make that work. So I need some help.
Well, I know there's a sewer line running down there, and when we built our building here a couple of years ago, we located where we were going to connect into it. Yeah, for sure, right there. And they dug down and there was nothing there. And so they had to go over and they tried it again, and we found it, but it was like 6 feet off, but it was in the alleyway.
But I don't think the gas line is. I think the gas line is closer to the building, which is good. But at some point, does that mean that there's nothing that I can attach a permanent structure to in there?
Right.
And that might be the case. Then what do I do about having some sort of ground in there? Like I don't know how to do a flooring option there.
Yeah. Well, I walk through there, I don't know, once a week maybe, going to the gallery or the landing. And yeah, there's build up on the, what do I say, the clinic end of the alley. But and there's the stuff between the pavers is eroded away, but it may just end up being maintenance that we just have to throw it back on there and broom it out and leave it at that. I don't know. There's we can get a professional pavers to come in there and do it,
but I think most of them are going to want to install some sort of significant
Sure.
substructure underneath it, and we can't do that.
Well, then you just paid for something we got to tear back up if
Yeah.
we have to go in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I would talk to somebody maybe from Home Depot or something like that to see what they do offer. Maybe
Okay.
research it online.
Yeah,
I would
poking around online, I'm not seeing good options, but that could just be because I don't know the right keywords to look for.
Yeah, you might be able to explain it to somebody that does that more often and see. In fact, you may even talk to somebody that does the walls and the pavers and stuff like that. They obviously there's like Mike said, there's got to be something.
Yeah, people have to
Yeah.
do this places. I have to imagine this exists. I just can't figure out how to find the right thing for it. But
Right.
yeah, talking to someone at Home Depot is a good idea. I'll find somebody back in that department because I know that they still have people who are like experienced in the field that work there. So
well, the trick is going to be is to be able to continue to use the pavers that we have. I'm sure they'll sell you all kinds of interlocking pavers and stuff, but
yeah, but honestly,
Well,
with what we've got underneath there, it's not going to help anyway. Those interlocking pavers still need something solid underneath
Yeah.
them.
if we had a way to pick them all up and then reset that base, I don't know if that would.
Well, it's like you said too, Mike, if there's something you can add to the sand
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
make it stick.
there is
might
some
work.
material I saw it on This Old House or something where they were using it to
I love this old house.
kind of thing, but
Okay. Well, that's what I'll run with next then. Other business. Anybody got anything?
well, you did mention Wayfair signs, and we had one meeting, you, me, Joe, and Glenda, and then we were hit with the pandemic, and that was the end of that. But we could continue to move on that somehow. We just got to figure out what signs we need, and then look at purchasing them, I guess. And we've got the two posts where my old sign was on that corner across from the mortuary. There's those two posts there, and then there's the other two posts down at the bridge. So there's posts in existence
Mhm.
for attaching signs to it. I don't know.
Do you want me to send an email to you and Glenda and Joe and start the conversation back up again?
Yeah, we could maybe do a Zoom or something or whatever. I don't know. What do you think? In the meantime, maybe we can look for some pricing. You could do homemade signs. That's stuff that has to be fooled around with. I don't know.
I don't know. Do you want to make them? I don't want to make them.
Yeah, no, I don't want to.
Joe's got good information because she's the one that did signage last. So
How about the
Is this-
cricket? Yeah.
Does the school, do they even offer that right now because of the construction and all that?
no, not
A
last I
wood
heard
shop?
anyway.
Not yet. They're
Not
not back into the wood shop or building shop yet, and I don't think the new art room is done yet.
No, he said that he wasn't going to get in there till September.
Yeah.
Last I talked to Ron, yeah.
So I'll send an email to you
Yeah.
guys.
I don't know, yeah, let's see what they think, and maybe we can get that rolling again.
Okay, anything else? No, I don't see any public to have input here, but I'll ask for it anyway. Public input? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
I second. Let's do it. All in favor?
I.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Looking forward to hearing from you guys, and we'll get together and get this stuff figured out.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Jill. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.